Most jeans fall apart in under 18 months, and the brands bragging about premium quality, they're often cutting the most corners, but a few brands quietly do the opposite, and almost nobody talks about them. Number 8. Naked and Famous Denim. Most men have never heard of Naked and Famous. That anonymity is part of the point. This Montreal-based brand has been operating since 2008 with a single focus: source unusual Japanese denim and put it into jeans without inflating the price beyond what the fabric actually costs. There are no celebrity deals, no heritage mythology, no lifestyle campaign telling you what kind of man wears these jeans. Just fabric specs published openly on every product page and a price that reflects what's actually inside the garment. The denim comes almost entirely from Okayama and Kojima, Japan's two most respected denim-producing regions. The mills Naked and Famous works with include some of the same suppliers feeding Ironheart and Oni Denim, names that serious denim buyers recognize immediately. The selvage fabric used across most of the lineup is woven on vintage shuttle looms, a slower production method that creates a denser, more tightly interlocked weave than modern projectile looms can produce. That density is not cosmetic. It directly affects how the fabric wears over time, how fades develop, and how long the structural integrity of the jean holds before the weave begins to open up. Prices run between $100 and $250 depending on the fabric weight and construction. The standard Weird Guy fit in a 12.5-ounce raw selvage sits around $110 to $130, a price that puts you into genuinely Japanese mill denim without the premium that larger heritage brands add for their name. The markup is honest. You are paying for the fabric and the cut, not for a marketing department or a logo placement strategy. Raw denim requires a break-in period of 3 to 6 months of regular wear before washing, and that process produces personalized fades that reflect exactly how you move and live in the jeans. No two pairs end up looking the same. That patina is not a feature added at the factory. It is the result of time and wear on a fabric dense enough to record it. At this price point, Naked and Famous delivers Japanese selvage denim that most brands charge twice as much to put their name on. Number 7. Tellason. Tellason is a San Francisco brand that has been making jeans in the United States since 2008. The entire production chain sits in California, from pattern cutting to final stitching, and the brand publishes that information without qualification or fine print about some items being made domestically and others not. Every jean is American-made. Full stop. The denim comes from Cone Mills White Oak in North Carolina, one of the last remaining American selvage denim mills operating at serious scale before its closure in 2017. Tellason secured its fabric relationships and stock before the closure and has worked to maintain its supply through careful inventory management. White Oak selvage has a distinctive character compared to Japanese mills. The weave is slightly more irregular, the texture is a little rougher out of the box, and the fades it develops over time have a contrast and depth that dedicated denim enthusiasts have documented extensively across decades of wear records posted online. Tellason jeans retail between $215 and $245. That price reflects domestic labor at California rates, selvage fabric from one of the most documented American denim sources in history, and a construction standard that includes chain-stitched outseams, a detail that allows the fabric to naturally rope and twist as it fades rather than lying flat. Chain stitching is not just an aesthetic choice, it is a construction method that interacts with the fabric's shrinkage and movement during wear, producing the characteristic roping fade pattern that raw denim collectors specifically seek out and that no pre-washed jean can replicate. The brand does not over-explain itself. The product page gives you the fabric weight, the mill origin, the construction details, and the price. There is no lifestyle language, no story about rugged American individualism or frontier heritage, just documented denim made in San Francisco. That restraint is itself a form of confidence in the product. Number 6. Samurai Jeans. Samurai Jeans is an Osaka brand founded in 1998 that treats denim manufacturing the way a craftsman treats any other discipline requiring years of accumulated skill to execute properly. The brand's philosophy is openly stated and consistently followed. use only Japanese selvage denim, construct every pair in Japan, and refuse to cut corners on any step of the process, regardless of what it costs to maintain those standards. The denim is sourced from Okayama Prefecture mills and typically runs between 17 and 21 ounces, placing Samurai firmly in the heavyweight tier of Japanese denim. Heavyweight raw denim requires a longer break-in period than standard weight jeans, sometimes 6 months to a year of consistent wear before the fabric fully conforms to the body. The payoff for that patience is a fade pattern of exceptional contrast and depth. Heavy denim holds its indigo longer, releases it more slowly, and produces sharper high-contrast fades at the stress points, knees, wallet pocket, coin pocket, and seat that lighter fabrics cannot match because they simply do not carry enough dye in the fiber to sustain that level of contrast across years of wear. Every pair is stitched in Japan with Japanese thread on machines that Samurai maintains and calibrates in-house. The Bartax reinforcing stress points are placed with precision that you can verify visually against most competitors. The copper rivets are solid, not hollow. The fabric selvage ID is visible at the outseam and the coin pocket, confirming the loom origin to anyone who knows to look. Prices run between $250 and $350 for the core lineup. That is a significant investment, but the documented lifespan of Samurai jeans across the global raw denim community runs to 5, 10, and in documented cases, 15 or more years of regular wear before any structural failure. At $300 spread across 10 years of consistent wear, you are paying $30 a year for jeans. Almost nothing on the market competes with that ratio when you account for actual fabric performance and construction quality. Number 5, Railcar Fine Goods. Railcar Fine Goods operates out of Azusa, California, and makes every single pair of jeans on the premises. Not nearby, not in a contracted California facility. In the brand's own building, on machines they own, operated by people they employ directly. That level of vertical control over production is almost non-existent in American denim manufacturing, and it has a direct and measurable effect on the consistency and quality of every pair that leaves the shop. The denim is selvage, sourced primarily from Japanese mills with fabric weights ranging from 12 to 17 ounces depending on the style. The stitching is done with vintage Union Special chain stitch machines, the same machine type used to construct the original American jeans of the mid-20th century and now sought after specifically for the character of the seam it produces. A Union Special outseam has a rope-like twist built into the stitch structure that interacts with the denim shrinkage over time, producing a seam that moves with the fabric rather than pulling against it. That mechanical compatibility between stitch and fabric is part of why chain-stitch jeans last longer and fade more naturally than their modern counterparts. Prices at Railcar run between $195 and $280. The brand frequently posts documentation of the production process, showing the machines, the fabric bolts, and the construction steps in enough detail that a buyer can follow the journey of their pair from raw denim to finished product. That transparency is not accidental. It is the entire marketing strategy. When your product is good enough to show every step of how it's made, you do not need a lifestyle campaign. You need a camera and a workbench. The fit options are extensive, and the brand is known for responding directly to customer inquiries about construction and material choices, something no large brand does because no large brand has the in-house knowledge or communication infrastructure to support it. At Railcar, the people who answer your questions are the same people who made your jeans. That is a rarity worth paying for. Number 4, Oni Denim. Oni Denim occupies a specific and largely uncontested space in the Japanese denim world. The brand's defining product is a fabric it developed in partnership with a single Japanese mill. A double-faced denim that is soft enough on the inside to wear without underlayers while maintaining the structured, fadeable surface of traditional raw denim on the outside. That combination sounds simple. The engineering behind it took years to develop and has not been successfully replicated by any other brand at equivalent quality. The fabric is called Secret Denim or Oni Denim depending on the product line, and it achieves its inside softness through a specific yarn structure that uses a finer, softer fiber on the inner face of the weave while maintaining a standard indigo-dyed warp on the outer surface. The result is a raw denim jean that does not require the rigid, uncomfortable break-in period associated with heavyweight traditional denim. You get the fading behavior and structural longevity of genuine Japanese selvage construction combined with a wearing comfort that makes the jeans viable for daily use from the first time you put them on. Prices run between $250 and $350. The entire production chain is Japanese, from the mill that developed the proprietary fabric to the Osaka construction facility where the jeans are assembled. The construction details are consistent with premium Japanese denim standards. Chain-stitched outseams, copper hardware, selvage fabric visible at the coin pocket and outseam, and reinforced stress points that reflect a genuine understanding of where jeans fail over time and how to prevent it. For men who want Japanese selvage denim quality and longevity but find the traditional break-in experience prohibitive, Oni Denim is the clearest answer the market has produced. It does not compromise on fade potential or construction quality to achieve its comfort. It solved a real engineering problem with a fabric innovation that stands entirely on its own merits. Number 3. Full Count. Full Count was founded in Osaka in 1992 by Mikiharu Tsujita, a designer who became obsessed with recreating the exact characteristics of American jeans from the 1940s and 1950s. Not approximating them, not drawing inspiration from them, reverse engineering the precise yarn structure, fabric weight, construction method, and hardware specification of the originals using the best available Japanese materials. That obsession has driven every product decision the brand has made for over 30 years. The denim Full Count uses is woven on vintage shuttle looms at a weight of 13.7 ounces, a figure Tsujita arrived at through extensive research into the fabric specifications of mid-century American workwear jeans. That specific weight was chosen because it produces the fading behavior he documented in original vintage pairs. Heavy enough to develop high-contrast fades, light enough to be worn comfortably year-round without the extended stiffness associated with extreme heavyweight fabrics. The cotton itself is a blend of Zimbabwe cotton and domestic Japanese cotton. Zimbabwe cotton is a long staple variety with a fiber length comparable to Pima and similar premium cotton grades. The longer fiber produces a smoother, more consistent yarn that holds dye more evenly, which directly affects how cleanly the indigo releases during fading. Uneven dye uptake in lower quality cotton produces muddy, flat fades. Consistent dye uptake in premium long staple cotton produces clean, bright fades with strong contrast between worn and unworn areas. Every pair is constructed in Japan with vintage Union special machines for chain-stitched seams and hardware specifications that replicate the original American jeans Tsujita studied. Prices run between $280 and $380. The brand's reputation in the Japanese and international raw denim community is built entirely on the consistency and quality of the product across 3 decades of production. There is no hype here. No collaborations designed to manufacture relevance, just jeans made by someone who spent decades figuring out exactly what the best version of a jean looks like and then built a company to make it. Number 2. Ironheart. Ironheart was mentioned in the attached research as a buy-it-for-life benchmark, and it belongs here for the same reasons stated there, backed by more detail than a list of 8 brand names can usually accommodate. This Osaka brand, founded by Shinichi Haraki, produces denim in fabric weights that start where most premium brands end. The standard Ironheart selvage denim runs at 21 ounces. The heavier lines go to 25 ounces. For context, most premium Japanese brands operate in the 12 to 17 ounce range. Levi's mainline jeans are approximately 11 to 12 ounces. Ironheart fabric is more than double the weight of what most men consider a sturdy pair of jeans. That weight is achieved through a double-twisted weft yarn construction. 2 threads are twisted together before being used as the weft yarn in the weave, producing a fabric that is denser, heavier, and more resistant to abrasion than anything woven with a single weft thread at equivalent loom settings. The resulting fabric has a tensile strength that independent wear tests have documented across 4+ years of continuous use without significant fraying at stress points where conventional 12-ounce denim typically shows visible wear within 12 to 18 months. The break-in period for 21-ounce Ironheart denim is real and requires patience. The jeans are rigid out of the box in a way that surprises first-time buyers. 3 to 6 months of consistent daily wear is required before the fabric begins to conform to the body and develop its characteristic high-contrast fade pattern. The fades that emerge from this process are among the most dramatic in the denim world because the fabric carries enough indigo density to produce extreme contrast between worn and unworn areas. The creases become bright white. The unworn areas stay deep indigo. The visual result is unlike anything produced by lighter weight fabric, regardless of how long you wear it. Ironheart jeans retail between $350 and $500 depending on the cut and fabric weight. The entire production chain is Japanese, constructed in the brand's own Osaka facility with direct control over every step. The brand operates its own retail stores in Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States, maintaining customer relationships and offering alterations and repairs directly rather than delegating aftercare to third parties. The cost per wear over a documented 10-year lifespan makes these jeans one of the most economically rational purchases in men's clothing. A statement that sounds absurd until you run the actual numbers and compare them to what you have spent replacing lesser denim every 1 to 2 years. Number 1, Resolute. First place goes to a brand that most men outside dedicated denim circles have never encountered, and that obscurity is not accidental. Resolute is a Japanese brand run by a single designer, Yoshiharu Tanaka, who has been making jeans in Japan since 1970. Not since 1970 as a brand. Since 1970 as a working denim maker, accumulating over 50 years of direct, uninterrupted hands-on experience with denim construction before the brand, as it currently exists, even had a name consumers could look up. Tanaka's philosophy is the opposite of everything the fashion industry rewards. No seasonal collections, no collaborations, no limited drops, no new fits introduced to justify a marketing cycle. Resolute makes 4 fits: the 710, 711, 712, and 713. Those 4 fits have existed largely unchanged for years because Tanaka believes a jean is a solved problem if you approach the construction honestly. The fabric weight is 13.75 ounces, sourced from Japanese mills and woven on vintage shuttle looms to a specification Tanaka refined through decades of wear testing on his own body and observation of how fabric behaves under real conditions over real time. The construction is executed entirely in Japan at a facility Tanaka oversees directly. Chain-stitched outseams are standard. The hardware is Japanese-made copper. The Selvage ID is visible at the outseam, confirming the loom construction to anyone who inspects the finished garment. Every detail reflects a decision made by someone who has spent 50 years thinking about nothing except what makes a pair of jeans last and age beautifully. Prices run between $280 and $350, placing Resolute in the same range as several brands on this list with far shorter production histories and far less accumulated knowledge behind their construction decisions. The difference between Resolute and every other brand counted down here is not the fabric weight or the hardware specification or the mill provenance, though all of those are excellent. The difference is the depth of experience informing every choice. 50 years of making jeans produces an understanding of the material that no amount of research, investment, or intention can replicate. It produces instinct, and instinct shows up in the finished product in ways that are difficult to articulate but immediately apparent when you put the jeans on and feel how they were cut. Resolute jeans fade with exceptional evenness because the fabric was chosen and the fit was designed by someone who has watched enough pairs age to understand exactly how denim behaves at every stage of a decade of wear. The result is a pair of jeans that improves continuously from the day you buy them until they are old enough that you would not part with them for any amount of money.